Welcome friends to yet another lecture of integrated homeopathy. Today we are taking a metal remedy, Plumbum Metallicum, along with case explanations by none other than Dr. Kushala. So Dr. Kushala will explain Plumbum Metallicum through the case, and then the other team members, we all will further delve into it and go in the details and try to understand Plumbum Metallicum with different lights in details. Okay, so yes, friends, be with us through the lecture. Yes, Kushala,
Yeah.
it is yours.
Yes. Hello, friends. I share my screen. Okay, this case is interesting in the sense that you have to keep all your senses alert. Also, your clinical acumen has to be in place. So this case teaches us a lot. So this lady, around 58 years old, came to me in October 23. She came from Varanasi, and I got an urgent phone call from her son the previous day, telling me that give me an appointment, please. My mother is in so much of pain and I want it urgent. Give me today. I said, I can give you only for tomorrow morning. He said, okay, but I want it urgent. I said, fine. And then in the morning, the full family came into the chamber. The husband, the son, the daughter-in-law, all of them came together with this lady, and she was moaning and groaning in pain, and they were helping her. The entire clinic was vibrating in as if there's so much pain this patient is going through, and there is so much of distress this family is facing, and you could see clear concern in the family towards her pain. So she told me that since 1 year, nas ka problem hai. I had fever, chikungunya, in September 23, and there was swelling all over my body. I had pain in my joints. My back and legs were caught up. I cannot walk. I cannot even comb my hair. I can't even flush the toilet. I cannot even do anything. I'm worse lying on back and I'm better sitting. I feel as if my right hand will cut and fall off. Previously, I could exercise, and now I cannot do anything. In those days, there were a lot of fevers in UP. There was dengue, chikungunya, malaria, so many fevers. And in the past also, 5 years ago, I had knee pain. And that time there was a lot of, pain in my calf. I wanted someone to press my legs. I used to bang my legs, but I was better with homeo. And I love to walk. So previously I could walk a lot. And similarly, in the past history in 2020, she had a prolapse intervertebral disc where there was pain in the little toe and the right calf. She said then there was no backache, but it was worse every time I moved from sitting posture. I did physiotherapy. There's so much of pain. I have taken allopathy, which relieves temporary, but I want to take homeopathy. So I've come here. I want to walk. I want to do the treadmill. So daughter-in-law said, my mother is super active. In 2020, she was bedridden. Again, with treatment, she became super active. But now she gets tired on walking little and her speed has become slow. Patient said, children are so good. I want to get well. I don't want to trouble my children. They come running when they see me sick. My children are settled. It's 4 years my son is married, but they don't have an issue. It's unexplained infertility. And both are 33 years old. Both are working. Son has more stress in work, but they're not conceiving. Doctors have advised them IUI. But I don't get defeated by anything. I am anxious about my children. I want to look after grandchildren. If I get old, then I'll not be able to help my children. Their job will be affected. Daughter-in-law said, mother struggles and will do what she wants. She's got very good management skills. She will follow her medicines and diet strictly and in discipline. But she gets irritable if things don't happen as per her wish. In Hindi, she said, man ka nahi hua to. And she's quick-tempered and will cool also easily. She does everything for the family. She cares for the family. If irritated, if things are not right, she'll tell you and she'll make you do it right. She wants everything perfect. She has a strong willpower. Her daughter and daughter's children are staying with them. She wants to bring them up, even if her body is giving way or it's not willing, but still she'll keep timetable for the grandchildren. She'll exert her body and do things for the family. She cares for the family and is determined to do things. And she's qualified herself. She's BA and she's a principal in school at Varanasi. Even for her husband, when he had dengue, his platelets had gone down. She will buy papayas and give him papaya. She thinks for all of us. She tells us what to do. She's determined and strong, but she's a child at heart. When she sees swimming pool, she feels like jumping into the pool. She likes to be independent, does not want to be a burden on others, that she should hold hands and walk. Since this chikungunya, there's a lot of problems. They said previously she could bear pain, but now she just can't bear. She's not complaining so much now too. She'll just sit and sleep. She'll not disturb others. She cannot sleep, cannot walk. She cannot close her fist. And now the swelling has increased. She gets irritable if we don't listen, if we don't clean the cupboard. She's very particular about things. She wants that the house gate, they live in a bungalow, it should be closed. And if when the AC is on, you should see that the door is closed. She wants everything as per her way. Patient immediately said, whatever my daughter-in-law told is perfect. I want to be fit. Husband, son, daughter-in-law, all are good. No tension. My daughter's marriage is but disturbed. She's divorced. Her second marriage is also not working. My daughter is very simple, very innocent. She's not sharp, but she's MA. But now she's staying with us. Her in-laws, treat her like a maid. They are an illiterate family. They don't care for her. We parents are looking after daughter and grandchildren, but at least they are happy with us. When I got married, I was 25 and I had later 2 kids. My husband was a treasury officer service in Varanasi. When children used to have exams, I would see that the TV was closed, the gates were closed so that no one would come to play. And I used to get a lot of respect because of my discipline. I want to be fit and not burden. If given little support, I will go ahead. I can bear mental pain of daughter's infertility, daughter's divorce, daughter-in-law's infertility. I don't give up, but I can't bear this physical pain. If there's any function, planning it is my priority. I work systematically for it. I see into all the details that nothing is left out. I will inspect, follow up, and I'll get irritable if things are not as per my plan. When married, I did everything from scratch. We worked hard. I like my family to be happy. Nothing should be, waste. So I'm careful. I don't like to beg in front of anybody. Jitna chadar utna hi phailao. She had a lot of constipation. Dry stools had to strain. I was observing because the entire chamber was so tense. The entire family was concerned, talking about her, sometimes the son, sometimes the husband, sometimes the daughter-in-law, holding her to walk. The Bahu, though she was, living in Mumbai, qualified, working, she had her sari pallu on her head. And she was speaking very good English. She was working in a good company. She was drawing a good salary. She narrated a lot of the history and she helps her in all her activities in this pain. Towards the end, I said, I would like to examine you. So the entire family helped her up the examination table and she walked with so much difficulty, moaning and groaning. I said, fine. I checked her BP, I checked her vitals. Okay, then I, asked her to do the straight leg raising test. And she could move one by one, both her legs 90 degrees and back. She could fold her knees fully. Then I asked her to move her upper limb. She could move the entire upper limb fully, full range, 180 degrees above her head. Then I asked her to lift her left upper limb. Online, she said, no, it's painful. I can't lift. I said, fine. We'll sit and see how much it moves. So on sitting again, the same full range of movement above her head. I was wondering, what is this? This cracks on the angle of lips. If there is so much of joint pain, she's walking with so much of support and she can hardly walk. Everyone is holding her and making her walk. But the on examination findings are something which is totally different. So I tried to analyze this. I said, one thing is very clear, that this lady holds a very important position in the family. As the entire family came to the clinic in her pain and they were concerned. She's strong-willed. She's a decision maker of the family and she plans systematically for all the family functions. She cares for the entire family needs. She cares for her broken marriage of her daughter. She looks after the grandchildren and the daughter. She's worrying about the son and daughter-in-law's infertility. She's taking special care of her husband's low platelet count. So she thinks for everybody. She's caring and she's responsible for the entire family. But also you could see that she cannot bear anything which goes against her wish. She's very particular about every little thing, that the gate should be closed, the TV should be off during exams. When you own the AC, the door should be closed. Her husband is now retired, and now she too is retired principal. Her daughter-in-law is modern, qualified, working. I was wondering why this discrepancy, and her examination findings normal. So there was a gap. There was a lot of gap in what was seen in the narration and what was seen on the examination findings. So then I thought, okay, let me repetize. I took feigning sick. I took exaggerating her symptoms. I took light desire because she wanted to be relieved of the pain. And the way the ambience of the clinic and the family was, it's as if, they were shrieking for help. And what came out very prominently was Plumbum Met. So I gave her Plumbum Met 203 powders HS. And it was magical. Within a week, she felt so much relief. She came very comfortably walking into the clinic. And then I repeated again after, say, 15 days, whatever, she felt there was some pain here and there. I just repeated the dose after 15 days. She was done. She was totally comfortable in her pain. And within a month, she went back to her hometown. So I took few, rubrics which could sort of, match with my case. So in Plumbum Met, the other rubrics which could match with my patients were attended desires to be, authority refusal to accept someone's, cares worries full of, there's a childish behavior, contradiction aggravates ailments from, exaggerating her complaints, she's fastidious, so is the patient, feigning sick, shrieking, screaming, shouting for help. Friends, Plumbum Met was absolute magic for this patient who was in so much distress. Now, let's understand Plumbum Met through the materia and later through rubrics. So I invite Dr. Aditi to share the materia of Plumbum.
Thank you, Kushala. All right, yeah. Friends, so now we will discuss Plumbum Metallicum materia medica. As we all know, Plumbum Metallicum, the sphere of action is predominantly on central nervous system, cerebrospinal membranes, and spinal cord. In Plumbum Metallicum, it is a general sclerotic conditions, progressive muscular atrophies, infantile paralysis, paresis, locomotor ataxia. Now, generally, Plumbum Metallicum is supposed to be a slow, insidious process. Slowly, the degeneration starts seeping in the nervous system, and progressively, then it leads to paralysis. Paralysis chiefly of the extensor muscles, diseases arising from the spinal cord. The Plumbum Metallicum pathology is from center to periphery. It is associated with partial anesthesia or excessive hyperesthesia. So we see both the type of sensory responses in Plumbum, preceded by or associated with neuralgic pains or neuritis. And the pains are because they are neuralgic pains, they are stinging, tearing pain, very severe pain. Even we noticed in Kushala's case also. Painful contractions, atrophy of the limbs, severe wasting away of the tissues. In Plumbum Metallicum, we have seen wherever the pathology happens, over a period of time, there is wasting of the tissues, muscle, whether it is affected muscles, then muscles are wasted. Even we see sunken abdomen when there is lot of abdominal pathology. Pains are generally aggravated at night and ameliorated by rubbing. Slide is not moving. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. So all the pains of the Plumbum Metallicum are mostly aggravated at night and they are better by rubbing. Now we see also Plumbum Metallicum, there is lot of prostration, lot of weakness of the physicals and mental powers, both. Now we will further understand how the mental powers are also reduced so much in Plumbum Metallicum. Severe spasmodic constricting pains in the abdomen, very severe. Plumbum Metallicum is prescribed many times during very chronic but very severe pains of abdomen associated with obstinate constipations, because the power of the intestines have gone, and there is a constipation. Then also rapid destructions of RBCs, which leads to anemia and rapid emaciation. So in Plumbum, generally we see this kind of destructions. Now we will try and understand Plumbum Metallicum materia medica more through periodic table, as Dr. Jan Scholten has explained us. So now we see Plumbum Metallicum comes here. So this is 6th row, King series, and 14th column. Now we will understand what is the significance of this placement. See, now Plumbum Metallicum is 6th row and 14th column. Now what are the characteristics of the 6th row we see? We see these 6th row, all the remedies, they are leader. There is a power in them. There's a kind of leadership. There is a king quality in them. So they are involved with big projects, big organizations, and responsibilities much at a larger level. Not like calcium, Kali, and like that. They beyond family. It is or the larger platforms, societies, state, country, like that. Big conglomerates, big corporates. Then they are serious, heavy, dictatorial, arrogant, haughty, very courageous, very workaholic. Now this is the row 6 qualities, but as we go from column to column, proceeding from left to right, the deterioration starts ensuing in it. So by the time we reach to column 14, here the structure is failed now. Now there is no more power. The weakness has ensued. The leadership has become very empty and weak. So the organizations and management starts eliminating them. Now, because they had once were at a very senior post and at a very, they were enjoying a very senior commands. So you cannot suddenly discard them. So what happens? They have been sidelined. They are started neglected. So eliminating, and their responsibilities are slowly diverted to others. So slowly their powers are being taken away from them and they are pushed aside. So once this powerful and dictatorial leader, they become failed, damaged, powerless entities. And this sips in their mind and body. This starts deteriorating, this starts damaging, this starts causing syphilitic changes in the mind and body. They become lonely, isolated through the formal behaviors of the societies. They also somewhere it starts seeping in them that they are no more useful. They are no more at the power position. So they also try to cover up with their mask. It's a ripe old age. So now the position only has remained as a trophy. We see many a times in the society, like then they are just, they are called just to grace the occasion. They have been given a special guest position, or they are just given a lifetime achievement award, and like that, just to give them that much importance that yes, once they were very useful, but now there is no more use of them. All this leads to exaggeration, feigning, manipulations, mistrustful, misanthropy. Why they are doing all these things? To gain that attention, to gain that same kind of power what they were enjoying before, what they were, the attention which they were enjoying before, it is no more given to them. So they resort to all these things, and they try to gain their position back. But these are all futile things. It doesn't come up. So the emptiness ensues completely, and this is the stage of Plumbum Metallicum. So they are just remain for the shawl and coconut and few trophies, but nothing more than that. So this is basically Plumbum Metallicum if we try to understand through periodic table. Yeah. So now I will invite Anita to give us more understanding through rubrics of Plumbum Metallicum.
Okay, friends, we are seeing this case, and we will now go to understand the Plumbum as a personality. So as Aditi has explained, it belongs to King series. So now we see so many rubrics which justify that delusion castles and palaces sees. That means he sees himself in castles and palaces. That means he is a king. Delusion himself to be Christ. Christ is again a God. So something great, someone great. Then delusion, he is engaged in some ordinary occupation. Now I will explain this through one case. Now yesterday only I had one patient who used to work in media on a very good post. She was earning good package. But then unfortunately with her boss, she had some problems and she left the job. Now it's almost 5 years she has not got the job. So now she's just sitting at home. So she told me that she was quite diet conscious and health conscious. So she was exploring a lot about vegan diet, healthy diet, salads and all that. So once she told me, I will start some business in nutrition. I want to do a course in nutrition and I will start that business. But then yesterday when she came, she told me, see, I told you I want to start that business, but I don't think I'm made for that. See, my position is in media, where I used to do so much. And now just serving food, even if it is specialized, that is not, I'm not made for that. So that was her word, So if they get involved in such ordinary things, then they feel that they are engaged in some ordinary occupation. I had a lot of other female patients also who were working before marriage on a very good post, but because of household duties and all that, they had to skip their jobs and they were doing just household work, looking after the family, looking after their kids and all that. So they used to feel where I was and where I am now. So they feel that they are engaged in some ordinary position. They are worth much more. They are capable of doing many more things. Then similarly, this is another rubric is delusion is working a machine. Why working a machine? Machine doesn't have any emotions. Machine doesn't have any feelings, and it is a monotonous same work going on again and again and again. So they find this work very mechanical, where they don't have to apply their potential. So they feel that they are working like a machine. Delusion of superiority, as I said, belonging to working series, metal. So this is very normal. Egotism, haughty. And again, now Plumbum is more materialistic as against what we have seen in Aurum. Aurum is for society, more benevolent, more helpful for the society. But here, Plumbum Met is materialistic and self-indulgent. So to kill the monotony in their life, they opt for some stimulants. They want high social life. So because of that, they become self-indulgent. They will party a lot, they will socialize a lot, they will drink, they will eat, and all those things. And in the process, they also become selfish. So when they are on peak, they are quite selfish. And emotions are predominated by the intellect. So again, we see the lack of emotional involvement here, though they are, sensitive to moral impressions and careful of also. Yes, Shobha, change. Now in acute presentations, like we saw in this lady, which Kushala described the discrepancy between what they were complaining and what was examination finding. So if we see the acute presentation like this, we can think of all these rubrics: deceitful, exaggerating her symptoms, feigning sick to be in children, gestures makes groping as if dark in the, like they are searching for the cause why I am suffering. So this rubric also comes in connection with light desire and groping in dark. So they try to find solution for their condition. So they will go on trying different things. So the groping is like, you want to find something in dark space. So you will go on, feeling things to identify them. If I want a torch, if I want a matchbox or a candle, so I will grope for it. Groping is trying to feel with your hands, with your other senses, not because you can't see in dark. Held desire to be. That is why this lady was also accompanied by the whole family. Mourning, anxious. This patient also had this mourning with pain. Restlessness, pain from weeping and sobbing. Shrieking with pain, shrieking help for. Now, what is shrieking? Shrieking is, it draws your attention immediately. Now, if you hear a shriek, all your senses are directed to it. If a child shrieks or if there is a shriek, then you will feel that there is some emergency, there is some urgency. So shrieking is little harsh on your ears and it needs urgent attention. So this patient also demands urgent attention because she is suffering so much, and that is because of exaggerating symptoms. And it is, their sensitivity and a type of attention they demand. That is why they exaggerate their symptoms. So you will get this also in acute forms where, patient says that they are not able to, tolerate the pain. Pain is so much. I just can't tolerate it. Please give me something. I have done this. I've done that. I have taken painkiller. I have applied heat. I have applied cold ice and everything. But still, there is no change at all. So they want that urgent relief. They are, crying for help. They want something to relieve their pain immediately, like. So this type of attention, this type of presentation also you will get. Especially in stomach pains, you get this. One of my patients who had hoarseness, he was, talking like this. Madam, I just can't speak. My throat is paining so much. But next moment, he was normal. So from, observations, being alert and to catch these observations, you can identify feigning and exaggeration. They are objective rubrics and you have to be smart to pick it up. Then fears, pain during, and delirium business talks of. For plumbum, business is very important. Like Aditi also said, they are, they are on a good position in corporates and bigger companies and all that. So for them, business is very important and they restrict themselves to that business. So they are very, business-like people. So even during delirium, they will talk of business. Delirium with face distorted. Face is what you present, to the world. So when they are, if a strong person like her, like I said, a strong lady, a principal in the school, and she was holding the power in the family, and suddenly with pain, she is moaning and shrieking and groaning and all that. So where is that strength gone here? So they are not aware of how they are behaving during the pain. So pain during the pain or during the delirium, their face is distorted. Nobody will believe that she is the same lady who can be a principal, who must, who was holding a larger position, and now she's just crying with pain. So her position, her face, which is presentation, is getting distorted during this delirium. Now, again, like some very important and very peculiar rubrics of Plumbum, which I found are: delusion, obtain peace and safety through absolution from a Catholic priest, although a zealous Protestant. Means Christians are different types, so they are Catholics or Protestants. So even if they are zealous Protestants, like they have strong faith in one particular group, and still they feel that they will obtain peace and safety through absolution from Catholic priest. So they are, they are so desperate that they can change their loyalties, or they can change your faith also from Protestant to Catholic. So they have more faith on Catholic priests now. So they are ready to change. If you find an allopathic doctor who's not finding any relief in his system and he comes to a homeopath, or a homeopathic doctor who is suffering from pain and goes to an allopath. So they don't have that much faith in their own science, and they are, going for help to another school. This is more at the, level of faith, not just, for painkiller, we pop in crocin, that is a different thing. But when we talk about faith, it is much, much deeper. That means you have lost faith in your science and you are trusting another science more. Brooding over forbidden things. Now, what are forbidden things? Forbidden things are things which are not allowed in the society or in the religion or in your family or at a larger level. Like drinking is forbidden for girls in our family, or something is forbidden. So they still brood on those things, for getting that stimulation, they brood on those things. Now I will explain this again through a case where a Muslim lady who had 3 daughters. So she wanted a son, and she had lot of problems, complications during her pregnancy and delivery. So husband had told her no more pregnancies now. So we are okay. We are happy with 3 daughters. But her mind was somewhere, constantly thinking of having son. So she would, just cry. Every day she would tell her husband that I want to adopt a son. I want to adopt a son. And in their family, like nobody supported adoption. So they always said, no, we can't take, we can't go for this adoption. So she would always, try to, she used to have again that exaggerating of complaints, a lot of leg pains at night, and she would not sleep. She would keep striking her feet. She would, wake her husband up and tell him to press her legs and all that. So every night she was not able to sleep. And when I explored what stress she had, she talked about all these things. So her husband categorically told her, see, we are not going to adopt anyone. So she told me, in her absence of her husband, she told me, see, now I have a lot of brothers. I have 3-4 brothers. So whenever I am in problem or whenever I want to be fresh, I want to relax, I can go to their place. So I have somebody to, go to when I have any issues. What about my daughters? My daughters won't have anyone. No, if there is no brother after us, after our death, where they will go? So that is why I want a son. So see her selfishness in that also. Though she's thinking about her daughters, but that also shows that she wants a son for her own future security also. So that time, like she would constantly try to go on convincing her brother that you talk to your family. I want to adopt. That way, adoption is not a forbidden thing. But in their family, they had this rule that we are never going to adopt. Whatever God gives us, we are going to accept. So forbidden can be for the family, it can be for the society, it can be for the religion or anything. Delusion people are dolls. What are dolls? Dolls don't have life. They have human form, but they don't have life. Barbie doll may look very real, but still it doesn't have life. So they treat people like dolls. Like they don't have emotional attachment, and they can treat people as dolls. They are like very upright and business people. Ennui in afternoon, silent ennui, and sitting inclination to sit. So this comes when they lose their position. So now this NUE sets in. NUE in afternoon means when they are at the peak of their career, they lose that position, and then finally, they set into NUE, which is boredom. A lot of activities they were doing, lot of, brain they were applying, and now there is nothing to act on. They are not getting that satisfaction from whatever they are doing. So they get bored. So this is NUE afternoon in silent and sitting inclination to sit, because they are not taking any action now. Looking everywhere except at his questioner. Now, what is questioner? Questioner will question. Like Kushala was a questioner in this case. So she could have, though she did not confront that patient about, that discrepancy, but she could notice it. So Plumbum patient who are hysterical, they always look for the response of people. All hysterical people will always look around, like what my actions are, causing effect on other people. So looking everywhere except at the questioner, because आप नजर से नजर नहीं मिला सकते हो. You can't look into your questioner because you are feigning, because you are deceitful, because you are not true. That is why they will look everywhere except at the questioner. Work routine desires. So now finally, when they are out of the type of work they were doing, now they want to do anything just to keep them occupied. So routine work desires, rigidity, and sensitive to moral impressions. Rigidity is again about their position and about their egos. So with this, repertory also has lot of, good data about Plumbum Met. And with this, I will invite Shobha to take DD of feigning sick.
Thank you, Anita. Hello, friends. So we will study feigning sick to be, which is a very important rubric in this case, and from which, the Kushala could crack the case. So we will take this feigning sick to be in little more details. So what is the meaning of feigning? The feigning is to pretend or give false appearance or induce false impression. Now, in common language, we say that, ढोंग करना या दिखावा करना या नाटक करना, मीनिंग जो नहीं है वो दिखाने की कोशिश करना, and in the repertory we have a rubric feigning sick to be. That means pretending to be sick, when there is no actual sickness and you are just pretending that you are sick. That is what is feigning sick to be. Now, this is common, meaning this rubric can be seen in all the age groups of the people, but it is commonly seen in children and in the elderly people, especially, when they are trying to seek attention. So they use their symptoms as a weapon to get their work done, to escape whatever, from certain things that they don't want to do and they want to escape from it. Then that is the time they try to exaggerate their symptoms and try to feign over it, and they try to get their work done. So say recently I had one patient, one child. His mother came and mother said that, mother had tried to put him into the religious classes. So whenever the timing of this religious classes was happening, that time this child used to get stomach pain. And he would say that I have a stomach pain and I will not attend the classes. And the mother would say, okay. And once that classes used to be for about an hour. So as soon as the half an hour of the class goes away, the child was comparatively fine. And within 1 hour, the child was absolutely normal. So this happened 2-3 days continuously. And the grandmother was very smart enough and she could really understand, and she was observing this child and she could point it out, कि इसको जब भी वो religious class में जाना है तभी ही उसको stomach pain होता है, otherwise he is fine enough. So usually we see this type of behavior which is seen in the children or the patients who come and with the complaint of stomach pain or headaches or cough, giddiness, weakness, unwell feeling, or the vague symptoms that they would try and come to us, which we cannot put it in under any diagnosis of the illness. So how to catch this rubric? So usually the mother or the attendant can tell you, about this complaint or this behavior of the patient, because it is a behavioral rubric. It is not a rubric which is subjectively felt by the patient. So also under the observation, objectively, the physician also can make it out and understand, oh, there is some discrepancy. So either the attendant can tell or the physician can make it out. And the behavior that we need to really understand as a homeopath, we need to understand and we need to catch it in the case. The way Dr. Kushala, caught it very perfectly. Ki the patient's symptomatology was not matching with the on-examination findings, and she could really understand, oh, this is a feigning. There is some fracture in this. So what is it really, and just understand what is it. So when you feel that there is no matching with your diagnosis and it really confuses the physician, ki, oh, what is happening? The way I said in that child also, he complained of pain in abdomen. But when you ask him, ask mother, ki, is he having any diarrhea, vomiting, any loss of appetite? How is his energy levels? The energy level is fine. He's doing all his activities absolutely perfect and fine. Goes to school. Everything is fine. Then what to do? Then what is this? Also, sometimes what happens is that the attendants are very anxious, or the mother is very anxious. So mother would force you, or the attendants and the family will force you to do some investigations. You also do the investigations and you find out, okay, even after the investigation reports are also normal. So as a physician, you are not able to, put it under the any diagnostic conclusions. Okay, what is this? So that is the time it should click to you. Okay, what is it? And it can be feigning sick. So the remedies which are listed in the repertory under the feigning sick to be are ethelium aceticum, argentum nitricum, belladonna, calcarea, ignatia, calica, black caninum, lecasis, lycopodium, moschus, opium, petroleum refilatum, plumbum, pulsatilla, sabadilla, salix L, sepia, silesia, syphilinum, tarantula, and veratrum. So friends, once as a homeopath, you are reaching this, at least you are able to catch that, okay, this is a feigning sick. Now, which remedy to select from this group of remedies? So what to do? So now that is the time you have to think, what is the reason why this patient is feigning and how he is feigning. If we try to understand his why and how and try to connect it with the qualities of the patient, we will be able to differentiate between all these remedies and will be able to pinpoint to the one simillimum. So let us understand some of the remedies. So when we think about the feigning sick, the first remedy that comes into our mind is tarantula, because tarantula is a very cunning and a malicious spider. So you will see all the spider qualities in this remedy. And tarantula feigns by threatening, and he creates horrifying situations that the family will get scared and will let him do what he wants to do, because the tarantula child is a hyperactive child and he will jump from the up and jump from the windows, and the parents will get so much scared, that, oh, he is going to injure his own self. So also the tarantula child dances with the music because he loves music and dance. Another remedy is pulsatilla. Now, if you see pulsatilla patient, they are very mild, gentle, delicate, and yielding because it's a plant remedy. But pulsatilla feigns by manipulating, by weeping, and by pleasing. And why pulsatilla feigns? So pulsatilla feigns to get love of the people, because the need of the pulsatilla is love. So because pulsatilla again is a remedy of love and care. So it needs the love, and that is why pulsatilla feigns. Another remedy is argentum nitricum. Now, if you see, argentum nitricum is a remedy of fear, fright, and lot of anxiety. So it is a remedy which is, thought about before examination, before stage fright, and before any performances. It has a lot of performance phobias. So before any performances, the argentum nitricum, out of his anticipatory anxiety, will like to escape and like to, run away, try to avoid that situations. So argentum nitricum will feign with anticipatory anxiety. We have a very beautiful rubric in argentum nitricum, that escape attempts to from window. Now, if you want to go out somewhere, you usually go from the door. But what about the window? You don't seek window to go out of the, out of that room. So window is a small space. So in argentum nitricum, he gets a smaller chances also to move out. He will try and escape, to move out from even those small options that he gets out of his anticipatory anxiety. Another remedy is Ignatia. Now, Ignatia, if we see, then Ignatia is a very good girl image. It is a highly sensitive, highly moralistic, mild, loving, caring, and responsible person. But this Ignatia, responsible Ignatia, like is also a highly emotionally sensitive person. So when they get emotionally hurt, when they feel, that injustice is being done to them, they would either go into the outrage or would withdraw. So when they go into the outrage, they would feign by hysterical behavior or through contrary behavior or by becoming disconcerted. But if they go inside within, then they would go into that silent grief by withdrawing their own self. And thus we also have the rubric like, mildness complaining, bears suffering even without outrage. Without any outrage, they would go on silently suffering. Lechesis. Now, lechesis is a snake remedy, which is very vivacious, one-upmanship, jealous, highly competitive, passionate, and he loves amusement and playful. So, lechesis will feign by manipulating when he doesn't get to play and enjoy. He wants to. Agar mommy ne na bola ki if the child wants to play the video games onto the mobile, on mother's mobile, and if mother refuses, then the child is going to manipulate to you and child is going to feign. And all the time, all the time that the child is playing, all day long, he is all fine. But his complaints would start as soon as he reaches home, or at night he would start and complaining of ki mommy abhi mera pair darad ho raha karke. Then Lycopodium. Lycopodium is a highly intelligent, dominating and dictatorial person. And Lycopodium loves his power and ambition and his position. He wants to have that position. So Lycopodium will feign to achieve his ambitions. And he can employ any possible means to achieve these ambitions. We also have seen that, the Lycopodium children who are very good boy and good girl in the school or with the strangers, they have all the behavioral problems at home, either they with the anger and all. The parents would be surprised if when the teachers give a very good boy remark into the schools, and the mother will say, oh, I know what are his problems, at home, and how is he getting angry at home. So that is what is Lycopodium. And then comes Belladonna. Now, Belladonna always wants to be very light. He wants to be frivolous and he wants to enjoy his freedom. So, Belladonna feigns by escaping from heavy or painful situation. He doesn't want to take any heaviness on his own self. And Belladonna feigns by mourning. Now, mourning is one concomitant which we are seeing in Belladonna with lot of complaints. Sepia. Sepia is a person who is dancing in the tunes with everybody. So he is a dancing, caring, is loving and cares full of and cares for children. So Sepia will feign by getting indifferent or becoming poor or becoming sick when the Sepia is contradicted. Sepia cannot tolerate contradiction. And that is the time it would not like, it would like to have the attention towards her own self. And when it goes into the indifferent state, it will feign by lying with the eyes closed. So Sepia, who was dancing on the tune of every family member, doing things against her intentions, even like, when she doesn't intend, she will still like to do those things. And that is why we have rubric intentions are contradictory to, actions are contradictory to intentions. But when Sepia gets hurt and gets angry, she will become indifferent and she will lose interest from everything. Plumbum Metallicum. As we discussed and learned till now, plumbum is a metal and it always wants to get relief and wants to get out of the painful situation, wants to feel light and wants attention. So plumbum feigns by inciting others to help him. How in Kushala's case, how the other family members were incited, to come to the clinic and to help that patient. And plumbum feigns by exaggerating her complaints. complaint थोड़ी है. It is not that they do not have pain. They have pain. But the complaints थोड़ी है और उसको बहुत ही ज़्यादा intensity में बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलना. That is what is exaggeration. And we also have in the plumbum, the pain tolerance is very less. And that is why we also have this rubric of the patients having restlessness from the pain and anguish from the pains. Also, there is a moscus is also like pains through hysterical behavior. And friends, Dr. Aditi has a very good case of moscus. And I am sure that within a very short period, she will present her case of moscus of feigning sick to us. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is what was feigning sick from my side. Anybody else wants to say or add up anything?
Kushala, you are on mute. Anita, you are on mute.
No, I think we have done it well.
Okay. So with this, friends, I think after seeing this video, after learning the painting, learning the plumbum, I'm sure that you will not miss feigning sick to be. You will not miss exaggerating her complaints, and you will be able to use both these rubrics very, very well in your clinics, in the patients, and will be able to give relief to your patients. So with this, we will end this video. Thank you very much, friends. Let us see you in our next upcoming video. Till then, bye. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.